Hello. All right, hoping this is working. Oh, yay, it's working. Okay. This is my first time doing a live stream on YouTube. And yeah, just been trying to figure out how to get this all set up. So I painted at a wedding over the weekend, and I had a lot more guest portraits to finish up because it was just a really big wedding. So I wanted to finish them up, and I figured I would do a live stream as I work on them so that you can kind of see my process. And yeah, I feel really vulnerable doing this because, sometimes I make mistakes, but honestly, that's what live painting is, and people are watching when I'm at the wedding too. So totally fine, totally normal to not be perfect, right? We just do our best. Yeah, I'm gonna get started. All right, I'm just using 5x7 watercolor paper and a micron pen, and looking at the photos that we took from the wedding. It feels so weird to be live streaming. I don't think anyone's even watching, but if you join, I usually start with the heads, just like so I can have a better placement. I have actually done this on Instagram before, but for some reason, my friends' moms, so they don't really judge. So on mine, I don't typically do faces, but I do glasses and facial hair. But I think I would like to start adding faces at some point. I haven't quite decided what style to go with for the faces if I do that. I feel like I don't just feel like, but I actually did work a lot slower at this wedding than I typically do. I'm trying to figure out what the reasons were for that. One, I was super tired because I actually I got to be part of a friend's wedding the next day, and maybe that slowed me down. 6x9, and I think it just took me a lot longer, even though I drew the people pretty much the same size, but I don't know, we'll see. I think I can do it faster with this. The other thing is the paper that I got, the 6x9 paper, was hot press watercolor paper, and this is cold press, hot press watercolor, around the same, and I was struggling. Right, so her head's kind of leaning. I don't watch a lot of live streams, actually hardly any, to be honest, so I don't know if I'm doing this right. I don't know how much talking I should be doing. It feels kind of funny just chatting with myself. Let's see, YouTube says I have an error. Hopefully this is still working anyway. It says I have 4 people on, so thanks, guys. I know more and more people are starting to do these live portraits. I get a lot of questions for them, even more than live wedding painting. I think a lot of people like this idea. And at first I didn't want to do the live portraits because it's honestly in some ways more work than a live painting, because you're just making so many. All right, her neckline's a little interesting here. But as I've done more of these guest portraits, I've actually come to, but kind of makes sense in a way because I'm used to doing children's book illustration and more just stylized figures rather than super realistic, and so the live painting sometimes stresses me out because I know people want it you know, the point is for it to look like them. And that can be a little stressful. But stressful. Like the people who are getting these portraits are not the people who paid for them. And not that you don't want them to be good because the bride and groom paid for them and you want them to be good, but the people who are receiving them are usually just super great example for anybody learning how to do it. I don't know. That's the other thing, is that I feel like I usually go quicker, but then I'm like not as happy with the result. And this time I was like really wanting to make portraits that I liked, and that could be the reason. It's just like more attention to detail. Could be the paper, could be how tired I was. I don't know what it was, but whatever it was, I have a lot more to do. All right. So sometimes I do the full body, but I recently, I don't know, feel like I can get more done when I just do the top half of people. Because shoes can be tricky. All right, add some color. That was another thing I thought of. The last wedding, I did take a little break, like to eat while they were transitioning between the cocktail hour and the reception. There was a little time between. When I wasn't really, they didn't pay me for that time, but I just used that time to sketch out a lot of the pictures. I'm going to use a bigger brush. I used that time to just sketch, and with my paints, then I just started going to town on just the colors. Wow, this is not enough water. And so I think maybe that could also be something that makes these go faster, is just if I draw a lot and then like do all the drawing together as a batch and then all the painting together. So maybe I'll start doing that here after this one. Yeah, I still don't know what this error is trying to tell me. I don't know. Hey, do you want to check? There's like an error, so I don't know if it's still going. I think it is. A little too bluish. It's still working?
Yep.
Okay, that's good. I think I lost some people because I'm not that exciting. I think I'll just do this for another like 30-40 minutes. Maybe. Gotta get his ear. Good. Okay, moving on. My husband made a really great system where our guests will come and enter their name and address and then take a picture. It's just like a Google sheet that he made. But the picture just goes straight onto the Google sheet with their name and address and like the order that they're in. And so, I don't know, I love it because it's just an easy way to keep track of everyone. And if people leave before they get their picture, or yeah, if it's like this or there's just too many to finish, then we have their address. We don't have to go track them down. We don't have to bother the bride and groom's family to find everybody. I did that with my first one and I felt bad. They didn't mind, but it was just a lot. Okay, actually this is the big paper. I'm going to go back to using the small paper that I like better. Okay, there's two sides, so one's a little more rough than the other. I'm going to go with this one. Alright. I'm also always torn on like sketching first versus just using the pen. Obviously it's higher stakes if you don't have a pencil. But I don't know if it saves on time or not. I feel like it does. Alright. Okay, this guy's got facial hair. So I'm going to add that. Let's start over, so maybe in the long run it's not faster. That doesn't happen very often, but and it could be with pencil too, you know, you could still make mistakes. Or weekend, I guess tomorrow's Friday. So if you're watching and want to join me again tomorrow night, I'll probably be back here again finishing these up. Suits. Suits are tricky though, even though I've drawn like hundreds of them now. It's, for whatever reason, always kind of hard. Let's see. Thank you to anyone who's hopped on here for a little bit. I was just saying how, I don't know, I think I'm going a little bit more slow lately, trying to do, and the quantity will start to both get better. Right now I feel like it slows me down a lot, but hopefully I get quicker at doing them better instead of just doing a lot really fast but not loving them. I want people to love these and be excited to take them home. I'm not sure if my audience is mainly artists who are learning to do this or just people who are interested in having it for their own wedding. I don't really know, but if you're here, thanks for being here. Let me know. Let's see. I was saying at the beginning of this how like I've done live streaming before for these, but I've done on Instagram, and my Instagram audience is mainly like not less pressure. It's not as scary going live for those people, but it feels scary going live on YouTube for everybody. This is my first time doing YouTube live. Hello to my little group of people watching this. You're awesome. Hope you're having a great Thursday night. Today was my kids' first full day of summer, and I survived. It started out rough, and yeah, having them all home all day long, it just can get a little crazy. They normally get along well, but this morning they were struggling, so made things hard. But eventually, yeah, I live in Arizona, and it's super duper hot during the summer, so like we have to do a lot of indoor activities, and it's just how it is. So we're always trying to come up with good things to do inside, but that often requires like going places and spending money and eating out, you know. So, and that's also tough with little kids. So our summers are tricky, but they are also short because we have like year-round school. So they get breaks in the like spring and fall, and Christmas breaks are longer. Like spring and fall, and Christmas breaks are longer. Anyway, so that's nice because I'd rather have the break mess up his hand in his pocket. Hopefully he doesn't mind. Because the rest of this is okay. I have my dog in this room, and he was being like super loud when I was setting up. And now I'm so glad he decided to chill out. Otherwise you would have heard a lot of barking. Oh, she has glasses too. Almost forgot. Yours are smaller. Should probably let the pen dry a little bit more before I go over it. That was too soon. But it'll all be okay. Not quite sure what I'm going to do with that yet. I might draw some of the flowers. Let's see. His hair's darker, but another thing we do on this Google sheet that my husband made is we take notes of like what color their clothes are, because sometimes it's really hard to tell in the picture. So like he wrote maroon blazer and tie, and in this picture it looks brown, so definitely glad he put that note on there. Okay, it's kind of purpley, so we're gonna add some brown in here. That's better. Let's get some more water. But yeah, I really do enjoy doing these, and the guests are always so happy to have them. It's so fun when they come and find their picture. I love the little kids because they'll come back and check like 1,000 times, like, are you done yet? And I like have 10 more to do ahead of them. They get so excited about it. Alright, his tie has... Oh. Alright, and then I think, hopefully I'm correct. We didn't write what color his pants were, but I'm... And I'm going to add some more brown to this side of his blazer. And then, yes, so she's got, draw some flower shapes, and then we're just going to paint it very colorful because I have a lot of portraits to do. So, okay, she has like orange and blue. Those are the main colors, and pink. And some like darker blue. Add some pink in here. All right, now I have to add little rosy cheeks. I feel like it's a nice touch. Trick is just to like, there we go. Cute. All right, moving on. That's 2 done. Okay, let's see, who's my next one? Okay, I think this one's a mother and son, which is cute, which is cute. Okay, one trick, not really trick, but advice, I guess, for people who are doing this, that I always have to remind myself is to put the heads closer together than I think they should be. Because if not, there's like a weird space between people, and you don't want that. So even closer than they look in the picture, I feel like it's always a good idea. He also had headphones around his neck, but I'm not going to draw those because I don't know if you'll be able to tell what they are. And they probably want to keep this forever, so. you can hear my dog. It's the neighborhood bark party, I guess. They always... Okay, that hand was a little funky, I know, but we can't be too picky here. These are quick. That's the beauty of them. Okay. Oh, I forgot her hand. Yeah, I think it's a heart. There we go. Okay. Oh, wow, this time has passed really fast. Yeah, I am moving slowly here, but I think this will probably be my last one. Got other things to do tonight. Time goes so fast when you're painting. They hired me for 5 hours at this last wedding, and that's the longest one I've done. And I just didn't know how it would go being there for 5 hours, but it went so quick. That's leaving, so I'm just gonna let it be that way. Alright, her dress. It's like a royal blue. Let's see if I have a good color to match. Oh, I do have a good color. Just a second. Another palette. I'm torn on if I should leave this video up or not. That's purpley. Let's see this one. Yeah. Because I do feel super vulnerable posting this. And yeah, painting kind of slow. Not sure if this is the best example, but I don't know. It's still helpful to see other people paint. More water, more water. That would probably help me go quicker. Alright. Add some little rosy cheeks on there too, and then we'll call it good for tonight. over to his suit. Just looks dry like that. All right. Cute, cute. There we go. Well, thank you for joining and watching me paint. I hope that you're having a super night, and you're awesome if you hopped on here even for 30 seconds. Thanks.